Mosquitoes bite humans to drink their blood. The nutrients contained in a human's blood help female mosquitoes to make eggs they need to reproduce. Only female mosquitoes bite people. When a mosquito bite breaks the skin, a person's body recognizes the mosquito's saliva as a foreign substance. This causes an immune system response, which aims to flush out the intruder.
Mosquito bites itch because histamine also sends a signal to the nerves around the bite. The first time a person is bitten, their body may not react in this way. The immune response is something that the body learns after being exposed to a foreign substance. Some people may never react to a bite. Others might become more tolerant to mosquito saliva over time. For many, the reaction remains consistent and mosquito bites continue to be an annoyance. Mosquitoes have always been a constant annoyance and danger to humans. We then created DEET to solve our problems.
The mosquito is the deadliest animal in the world, as a result of various diseases that it spreads. Some of these diseases include dengue fever, Zika virus, West Nile virus, malaria, yellow fever, and chikungunya. Some of these diseases can even be fatal if left untreated.
To combat the diseases that mosquitoes spread, countries across the globe have started various initiatives in response. When the Zika virus broke out in 2015, the World Health Organization immediately advised people to use insect repellents that contain DEET.
DEET was initially developed for the U.S. Army in 1946 by Samuel Gertler, who was working for the U.S. Department of Agriculture. At first, it was tested on farm fields as a pesticide, helping farmers kill off any insects damaging their crops. The U.S. government then approved its use for the general public in 1957.
During the Vietnam War, U.S. troops fought in bug-infested swamps. The U.S. military used Gertler's creation to help combat the fight against the mosquitoes carrying disease.
Soldiers commonly refer to DEET as bug juice.
DEET is also known as
diethyltoluamide. DEET is the most effective insect repellent available and has been widely used for more than half a century. For mosquitoes, DEET has at least two molecular targets. Odorant receptors, ORs, mediate the effect of DEET at a distance, while unknown chemoreceptors mediate repellency upon contact.
The mechanism of how DEET manipulates these molecular targets to induce insect avoidance in the vapor phase is also contested.
It is known that DEET acts at a distance as an odorant as well by direct contact, as a tastant. Although DEET reception is primarily mediated by the olfactory system, there is an unambiguous evidence that olfactory receptor neurons are involved, and that an odorant receptor, co-receptor, ORCO, is essentially for DEET reception. In the southern house mosquito, Culex quinquefasciitis, DEET triggers repellents by direct activation of an odorant receptor, CQOR136. There is growing evidence suggesting that DEET is also a tastant. An example, a compound that acts by direct contact with the insect's gustatory system.
A high boiling point and consequently lower vapor pressure confers lower evaporation rate and consequently a long protection time. One of the essential properties of a repellent, if it is to remain competitive in the market. The boiling point of DEET is 297 degrees Celsius.
There are three main hypotheses for how DEET actually works. First, DEET may silence ORs turned on to activate odorants. Second, DEET may activate one or a few ORs to trigger repulsion. Third, DEET may act as a confusant to modulate activity of many ORs. They refuted the first hypotheses and suggested that DEET may act by direct activation of ORs and modulation of these activity of other ORs. Although the true cause is currently unknown, scientists are working to determine how DEET actually repels mosquitoes.
DEET is not harmful to your skin, but can be painful or cause injury if sprayed in your eyes. Commonly confused for DDT, as it sounds similar to DEET. The Human Health Risk Assessment concluded that there are no risks of concern for DEET because no toxic effects have been identified when used as a dermally applied insect repellent and not an extreme side.
With regards to the effects on the environment, the EPA re-registered DEET in 1998 to ensure it's conformed to today's more stringent standards rather than the 1950 standards. Because DEET is applied to the skin and not directly on plants or wildlife, its impact on the environment is minimal. However, the EPA shows DEET as slightly toxic to birds and fish and aquatic invertebrates. It's virtually non-toxic to mammals. The EPA currently rates DEET as toxic category 3, the second lowest of 4 categories, or slightly toxic.
Today, people apply it topically to their skin to repel insects. As a result, the EPA mandates that chemical insect repellents must be tested and approved by the EPA prior to commercial use and sale.